we've got a gentleman sitting backstage ready to come into the show. His band and the band is Messer. And I hope I have my stats right. And if I don't, I'm going to be really embarrassed. So Maddox, don't get mad at me. Believe they have 4 top 40 songs to their name, with their highest peaking one being Simple Man back in 2018. They have the new single out right now called Find Out, which the lyrics are absolutely, I love them. So let's go ahead and bring Maddox in now. Maddox, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. It's hot. You guys hot?
But so you're in Texas. I'm in Alabama. Lisa's in Virginia, and Matt's over in
We got an
England.
echo.
Yeah, we
as
got
in the UK.
Am I echoing?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Should I be in headphones? Is that better?
Sometimes it works.
Let me try that.
If you're on your phone,
Is that better?
especially, it's
Yep.
fixed.
Yep.
Yeah, better.
Thank you.
All right. I'll be in headphones for this.
Thank you.
So, Maddox, tell us, for those that aren't familiar with Messer, tell us about Messer, where you guys got your start at, and bring us kind of currently to where you're at now.
Yeah, great. Well, we're based out of Dallas Fort Worth. We've been together now, a long time, since 2009. I believe is when we originally kind of formed. But our drummer Kenny is from Canada, and so he's not from Texas, but he got here as fast as he could, as he would say. But we've gone through some member lineups through the years, but the band that we have right now is probably the strongest that we've been, and the songs that we're doing right now as a collective group, we feel really strong about. So, but yeah, man, we're just a bunch of regular dudes from Texas, man, just trying to do rock and roll.
So, if you go back to the start, Simple Man was your first single that I think it peaked right at number 20 or 19.
I think it was like 23 or 20. I honestly don't get too caught up in the radio charts. I have a love-hate relationship with radio.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I know you guys understand the situation that rock and roll is in. It's in a very peculiar point in history right now. So,
yeah, it's on that side of it, I work for an active rock station in Biloxi, and then of course we have our own station here at the Sound. So I get to see both sides, at least of that, and we totally enjoy the internet side of it better.
yeah,
I can tell you that.
We appreciate stations that just play what they want, because they like it, not because somebody told them to play it,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And that's what we try to do with our ads at the Sound is, we all have a little bit of an input, but it's what we like, it's what we want to play, it's what we're listening to.
Yeah, that's great to have real human beings behind the choosing of music these days.
Right.
Yeah, and that's on my side of it. They've heard me. I mean, I work for an FM radio station, but I get frustrated with it because it's so tunnel vision now
Mm-hmm.
that you really got to spend some money
Yeah.
to break through anymore, and I think that sucks. I think
Well, I don't even think that's even, you'd say, well, Simple Man was, our top, 20, whatever song. And even at that time period, I think there were probably at least 50 more rock stations in America than there are now. So, when you compare like trying to chart and rock radio to like say country or pop, you know what I mean? That the decimal point is like moved way over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's so few opportunities for a new band coming out these days, and specifically the mid-level. You know what I mean? I see your list, and I see you guys are supporting a lot of mid-level artists, which is we've been getting kind of squeezed out through the years. You know, so we definitely appreciate that.
Well,
It's,
how else is everyone supposed to know? You know, if no one's talking about it, no one's
Right.
talking about these mid-level or emerging acts, then how is anyone else supposed to know? And there's so much great music coming from these artists. Just because they're not playing an arena yet doesn't mean they're not worth your
Right.
time.
Yeah.
And
You know, I'm telling
in
you,
my
Shine
opinion,
Cloud used to play little teeny clubs before anyone knew who they were.
right.
All those bands, Metallica at one point was playing little crappy clubs before anyone knew who they were. You got to start somewhere, and we're happy and very proud to be the voice of a lot of those bands.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the mid-level and underground rock and metal scene, the stuff that the bands are putting out is better than what you're hearing on mainstream FM radio anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would agree with that 1,000%, not just because I'm a mid-level band, but mostly because there's nobody telling mid-level bands what they can or cannot do. When we formed Messer, it was a very deliberate decision that we decided, even back at that time, which was early in the quote DIY movement of the music industry, the quote unquote rebirth. The music industry, died with Nirvana, and we've rebirthed it, and now we're, 20, 25 years, we have more infrastructure that we're starting to reestablish, because we had to get all new infrastructure. But the problem is that so few people are willing to take the risk. They want the sure thing because they're trying to have growth over growth, and that includes the radio industry, which is really ad revenue driven, which kind of. So when we started Messer, it was really like a deliberate effort. We're going to not have a record label. We don't need a record label. We'll sign ourselves essentially, and we'll do it all ourselves. So we've done it all the way ourselves up to this point. I mean, we've obviously, hired managers or had managers along the way. And of course, now we're very fortunate to be with, FM. So, we have a really good, solid team now, but we've had a unique experience in the fact that I've been the guy, being in the seat of record label, doing all the executive stuff behind the scenes. And so I've had a very unique look into the music business as how the sausage is made. It's ugly.
Right.
So let's talk about the new single. The new single, it's called "Find Out."
Yep.
And I posted the hook lyrics the other day just because I just love the way they're laid out. But of course, it ends with "fuck around and find out." So tell us, Jared's not here. We can't. So tell us everything or tell us nothing about the song and the video, because we're getting ready to go into the video.
Well, for sure. Well, obviously the video I love videos. They're my favorite part about making music, is I get to get the visual aspect of it and tell the story. The video is obviously a spoof on Office Space,
Yep.
if you will. And so we essentially, played the role of all the characters in Office Space, and we tried to get some of the more iconic scenes. But essentially, we were going to work at the music business, and our manager or our label or our whatever guy, is constantly on our asses, like, where are the songs, where's the material, where's the TikToks, where's all this other stuff. And at some point, we've just had enough, and we've been pushed into that wall, which in the video you literally, I'm like in a hallway, and then just fuck it, we're gonna burn it down. And that's kind of where we were as a band in the industry, dealing with the frustrations of what it's like to try to just do this shit for a living, just to try to exist and create art and something that's good and something that we can leave behind and be proud of, in a time where all the odds are stacked against us. We're older guys. We're not young. That's not like a secret. You know what I mean? We're older dudes. You know what I mean? We've just never given up on this. We've just kept we just kept persevering and pushing and pushing. And so it's like, I was trying. We used to always try to be super politically correct in a lot of those senses, but like the gloves are off, and I was like saying, I mean, we've had enough, and uh, it's time to fuck around and find out.
There we go. Here it is. This is the latest from Messer. This is the video for Find Out, and you're watching the sound. All right,
That's
there we have it.
great.
That is Find Out from Messer. So,
Great. I love it.
a little story behind that is the more I watch that video, if you go back and watch the closing scenes when Derek's sitting at the desk and he puts his name up, I went, that's what I need to do. He had all the Messer tour posters behind there.
I did.
You do.
I turned my wall into that today.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
All the posters that we've done.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Great.
That was
Yeah,
great.
that was fantastic. That
Yeah.
was
It was
how
great.
fun was that filming that?
Oh God, it was so much fun. My good friend and Matthew JC, who's helped us actually film several music videos, did help me film that as a favor because I had zero, I had no budget, and I couldn't afford Matt. And I said, Matt, I can't afford you, but I need help filming this because I just had this crazy idea to recreate it. There's a lot of little Easter eggy stuff. I'm a big fan of Easter eggs, so there's like a lot of detail. Like we had to have a whole day where we were in costume to make our employee badges because we actually made employee badges with our picture and everything all in it so that it could all be in there. But my good buddy Matt, who is the founder of Operation Rock the Troops, we traded out because I volunteer with Operation Rock the Troops, and he traded out with me, so that was the trade out for that. But we had a tremendous amount of fun. There is a whole behind the scenes video where you can see all the fun stuff because we acted it all out for some reason. We thought we needed to really act out all those scenes. So
Is that on your YouTube?
yeah, go watch it. It's just the behind the scenes, and it's way too long, but I edited these videos myself, and they're not perfect. The hardest lesson that I learned was that I had no idea how to I thought AI was going to be so much better or easier to use to add fire into the ending scene. And so I just said, let's just film it, and we'll just add the fire. AI will do it. I'll type it in AI and AI will just do it. Well, AI doesn't, we're not there yet with that stuff. So I learned about rotoscoping. I did not know what rotoscoping was, but we were actually very lucky that we had a fan who is good friends with somebody that works at Lucasfilms, and this guy, added that fire in post for us and hand rotoscoped it, which takes a long time apparently, and it's very expensive. And we were very lucky to have him help us with that.
That's awesome. I love it.
Lisa just put the behind the
Yeah.
scenes video
There it is.
in there,
So-
so definitely check that out. So what's the rest of 2024 look like for Messer?
Well, we have a much anticipated home show. We don't play at home very often, and it's kind of a good chance for friends and family and every mom and all that to come see us. So we're going to be playing September 6th here in Fort Worth at Fat Daddy. So if you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, come out and see us there. We have 3 more songs that are in various stages of production. Derek's done vocals on 2 of them. We have 1 more for him to do vocals on, but all the music's done, drums, all that stuff's done. And we'll be, just releasing some more music through the fall. We're hoping our phone rings for shows. We want to go on the road and play shows, but as we mentioned before, it's difficult for mid-level bands because we lost so many of those small venues during the shutdown. They either went out of business or got sucked up by the machine, whose names I don't want to speak of, but they know who they are. And so it's hard. It's hard for us, We are very lucky. We have a good fan base and support up in Idaho. But the downside is that's 30 hours from where we live. So it's like 30-hour drive to get up into a good part of the country. And then we also have good parts up in Iowa and Wisconsin, but it's like, you know, we don't even have, I mean, we have a rock station, kind of. We don't even have a rock station in Dallas, so there's definitely not one, you know. Um, Not like there is in, like, you know, Idaho,
Right.
or, you know, smaller markets like Alabama, and so we want to come. We want to come to. I wanted to come to the show this last week. I saw you had some of my good friends from Shallow Side out there. Those
Yep.
are really
Yep. And
good.
Dirty Fest.
Yeah, good buddies of ours, and some other Texas. Did you have Kingdom Collapse out there too? Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So
So
what's funny is we discussed you guys for that show. When we had
nice.
a band fall out, we were trying to figure out who we were going to put on to,
Yeah,
but you guys had some things going on where somebody was doing something else.
yeah. Yeah, Kenny was in Canada because he goes back to Canada. It just logistically, you know, and
Oh yeah.
didn't work out. But we would have loved to hopped on over there and played. You know, Derek actually has ties in Alabama. I think he briefly. Derek always said, I've lived in Iowa. He's lived in a lot of places, but he has some family stuff in Alabama. So we actually used to we went to Birmingham. Is that place still there? That
Yeah.
old what was it called? Famous place. Uh
Hold on.
like
Matter of fact, Michael's in the comments. He could probably help us out with
uh
that from
I
closure.
remember it being so dirty and nasty, but like having so much history and like it's so crazy.
Those are
It's
the
a good
best venues
Right.
ever.
yeah.
Right.
You
Well
know,
they
you want to go to a real show, you go to that crappy, nasty dive bar. You'll see the show of
Yeah,
your
but
life.
it's a killer show, isn't it?
Yeah.
well there was so much history because you know, it was one of those venues that they were telling us where it's like it's been there as a pickup gig for so many artists driving through because, like, you know, that's kind of a drive-through state for a lot of rock music. You know what I mean? We get over to Florida where we do really well in Florida, but, like, you know, it's kind of a drive-through part of the country. But uh, that place, they said, like, everybody from like the Stones, the Chili Peppers, like everybody has pretty much played that bar. Did anybody figure out who it was yet? I'm trying to remember what it was
Michael,
called.
we're talking about Birmingham.
Uh, what was that place called?
That's really far away from where I live, so I am not familiar.
It's miles away from where I live.
Yeah.
So while Kevin's looking for that, though, Maddox.
All right.
Oh, he's found it.
No, I'm
Okay.
I
So
ran across Iron City first.
while Kevin's looking for that, I want to circle back to something you said before the music video was played. Now, you said your favorite part of, you know, creating the music is creating the music video and giving that narrative and visualization of what's going on in your head while you're writing it. Now, a lot of people in this industry say that the music videos are dead. And I agree to that to a certain degree because, yeah, a music video of a band just playing in a room is been done and it's been killed off. But for me, it's like, give me that narrative, give me that story of the song. So what is it to you that's so important of giving that visualization to your fans?
Well, you know, for us, it's the art of songwriting, right? And the most important aspect of that is the lyric, and then being able to really convey what we intend behind those lyrics is super important, you know, to really help drive home the message. To circle back about, you mentioned, you know, music videos being dead, and I don't disagree with you to some level as they are dead. However, let me put you on to the fact that they're going to be dead on YouTube. They're not going to exist on YouTube any longer. Where they're going to live is they're going to live inside of Spotify and Apple Music. It's something that's already in beta, and I'm already uploading Messer's songs into that format now, where you'll just be streaming it on whatever it is, and then the option for the video will just swipe over. Similar to how YouTube operates now. If you're on YouTube Music and you want to watch the video, you'll just click the tab. But by probably before the end of this year, that'll be in Spotify, and Apple Music already has it in some.
Yeah, I was
some
going to say,
degree.
I was just scrolling through Apple Music today, and as I was in an artist, I could scroll down and see their videos and watch their videos right there.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They let the bigger artists have it first, but I already know it's coming, and our distributors already having me upload. I'm in the process of uploading back catalog, which To circle back to even to the music video, and then uh, making all of this stuff, one of the things I wanted to bring up was Dolby Atmos. This is something that a lot of people are not aware of, but all of our music is available in Dolby Atmos. So, and it's even a more fully immersed experience. So, in the future, I'm really looking forward to being able to incorporate, um, you know, being able to have a fully immersive music video utilizing the Unreal Engine or something of that nature, where not only are you visualizing the video in a whole 360 atmosphere, but you're hearing it in Dolby Atmos, so that wherever you look, essentially that's where the music is. And it's something that if you're listening to on I think Apple Music calls it spatial audio. Spotify, I don't know if they're calling it Dolby Atmos yet, but uh, I it, I try to get everybody I possibly can to go and listen to not just our music, but any new music that's available in Dolby Atmos. And if you're a music lover, for sure.
Yeah, it's the audio on that, and you talk about the 360 and all of that, and even in so that was one thing that, like, for Dirty 30 Fest or futures I want to do as far as like 360s is getting the 360 camera. So after we're done and we can upload that and people can put on their VRs and do all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But, yep, and
Look
watch the
around.
show in 360. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's technology's definitely come a long way in the past few years. That
Let's keep going to live shows, and let's keep watching it with our eyeballs, and
Right.
keep listening to
That's
it with
the
our
best way
ear
to do it.
holes.
Right.
That is ultimately the best way
Yeah, and
to
I
do it,
prefer,
for sure.
like, I've noticed.
well, I was going to say my favorite thing about a live show is feeling the fucking low end kick me in the
Right.
chest.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
Yeah.
like,
is that my heart or is that the bass? Is that the kick drum? I mean, I don't want to be able to tell
right,
the
and
difference.
it's like, I mentioned this on a call this morning, and I've noticed that a lot of people aren't going to these smaller mid-level band shows or these small little venues because they're broke, and they're going to these big shows. But like, Elisa's been to my local venue at the Cavern. Now, if
Yeah.
you go in there for a live show, that sound system is rumbling your chest,
Yeah.
and you can't get, and you've got that more intimate, that's what it's all about, the roar of the music at a live
Well-
show. And I think that the intimate venues are the best ones.
I think if and even if there's maybe you're an older rock music fan, and you're like, well, I don't want to go get my ears beat up or it's too loud. I don't, and you haven't been to a concert in a long time. We're living in it's a modern era, and digital sound systems are incredibly well tuned, and even the smallest dive bar can have now at their fingertips really high quality sound, and I think it's so great to be able to go hear live music now, because you can actually listen to it and really enjoy it and not get ear fatigue. Because that's what happens. You go to a bar, small bar, and everybody's too loud. It's like, I can't get out. I can't understand it, or worse off, their messages aren't heard. So, but this day and age, I mean, I've played some shitholes, and I'm like, wow, the sound system is great. So you have no excuse, is what I'm saying.
Right. And that's one thing that when Jared and I started the sound and we started doing live shows, we didn't care where we were doing the show at.
Right.
But the production, because you can make a top-notch band sound like shit.
Yeah.
But that's why we use Jay Eagle Audio for all of our shows
Yeah.
up there, because
Yeah.
Jay does such a great job.
Top
We don't
notch. Yeah.
split about anything when it comes to production on a show.
Yeah. It's
Very
great.
important. Very important.
Facts.
So, go ahead. Do you have something, Matt?
No, I just said facts, and it's like something like me and Lisa at Riff Media Group, we say to some of our clients that, restricted with budgets, and they're like, oh, well, do we take a sound guy? Do we take a photographer? And we're always like, always take the sound guy with you. Always.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the, the things like, I said, just since the birth of Messer, if you've seen us live and you've seen our production or heard our production, we, came out of the womb, trying to be as fully grown as possible, so, but that doesn't mean that through the years that as technology has come out, we've kept adapting and staying ahead of kind of our show production as far as the sound quality, because again, going back to the messages of our songs, it's like if you go, if I just drove 10 hours to go play a show somewhere for no money, spending money out of my pocket or whatever, and I get there and I don't have my own sound guy, and the house guy doesn't give two shits about me, and we just, then what the hell did I just do? So I wanted to always ensure, and for me, even we used to do this test. We did this test for a long time. Like we'd play the show and all right, film us with your cell phone, and then we'd play that back and listen to it to see, did it sound all or did it sound good? Surprisingly, it sounds very good, because the signals that we're getting are so clean. We're able to, because we're doing it on our own, we're able to ensure that we're properly translated, no matter this room or this room, doesn't matter.
Agree. So if somebody was looking to find Messer, where's the best way to reach you guys or to find out all the info on the band?
Well, we just started an OnlyFans.
All right.
Just kidding.
Me too.
Not
Hang
yet.
on, sign me up.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm waiting.
No, you can pretty much find us everywhere at Messer Band on all the Instagrams. I've been trying to make TikToks, although it's not my favorite thing to do. We'd rather just make music, but if you insist, we definitely have some TikTok stuff over there. But Messer Band, messerband.com, YouTube. I mean, we have a lot of music videos. I think there's 12 music videos or more on there currently. So you can spend hours.
We want to give our appreciation to you for spending the time with us tonight. We will definitely be putting the links and everything into the comments. And yes, I truly believe we need to get you down here for a show at some point.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, the bus is ready to go. It's gassed up and ready to go. So we'll just point it in a direction.
All right. Maddox, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Keep rocking,
See you
dude.
later. All right.